Welcome to the STR Data Lab.
Daniel, we're getting ready to launch our short-term rental. And one of the decisions we haven't made yet is what kind of sheets do we get? And part of that decision, I was thinking and you've bought more sheets than probably anyone else in the industry, or pretty close to it. You've you visited all these manufacturers directly. You've tested it all in the field. So high level question, what type of sheets should I buy?
I'm always going to recommend you go with a natural fiber.
Mm-hmm.
Cotton, 100% cotton is your best friend.
Yeah.
It's going to depend a lot on your laundry setup though.
Mm-hmm.
And what you think you're going to have access to, how fast you need things turned around, how many sets you want to invest in, and who's actually doing the laundry for you. We'll make the final determination on that.
Yeah. So maybe some of those variables. So our property is pretty remote, in 15, 20 minutes from the closest city. It's going to be 5 bedrooms, 4 kings, 1 room with 4 twins.
So 8 beds total?
8 beds total. We have 1 set of washer and dryer now, but the house has a separate laundry setup that they used to use, where we could put in a second set. So that gives us maybe the potential that the cleaners could do the turn and do the laundry on site. How do you feel about that?
I feel the more washers and dryers you have, the better off you're going to be in order to get laundry done between stays. If you ever have a quick turnaround and you don't want the laundry or your linens going off site, which has its own host of other problems with stuff going missing or getting damaged in transportation. Going back to the laundry, I think having more machines is better.
Yeah.
Drying is always going to be your bottleneck.
Okay.
You can run stuff through a washer on a quick clean cycle on the new machines and usually get a really good clean done in 30, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Drying can take, if you're using heavier, all cotton, can take upwards of 90 minutes. So I would highly recommend you look at the types of laundry machines you're investing in. Find something that's meant for commercial use. If you can find something higher capacity, you're just going to get a much better, more efficient cycle out of that, but you're definitely going to spend a lot more money up front.
Yeah.
Also, new appliances. I just going through some appliance issues of machines in my own home. They just don't last very long anymore. And the appliance techs coming over now are just saying 2 years, 3 years before you have stuff's going down. So definitely look investing in some better laundry equipment. It's going to be able to get the job done faster. And if you're able to do that, I think 100% cotton is definitely the way to go. You're in the mountains or close to the mountains, right? So you've got concerns about staying warm in the winter. But you're also in the south, so in the southeast, so it's going to be very hot in the summer no matter what. And so you want guests to feel like they are warmer in the cold times and cooler, and natural fibers that are about 300 thread count are going to breathe the best and give you the best options for comfort and that sort of luxury upscale feel that you're going for, versus a polyester blend typically is 60-40 is what's standard in hospitality industry. And that's what you'll usually have at low end, budget hotels and even a lot of other, midline hotels, because it's faster drying, it's less expensive and longer lasting. In fact, if you ever see a sheet that's you can kind of see through it, what you see is just the polyester fibers that are left and all the cotton fibers have been disintegrated over time. And, that just doesn't feel very nice. It doesn't, it's not a great look for a guest, and they just don't breathe very well. So you get a lot more sweating and stuff in the bed.
Yeah. So maybe and getting into some details. So we've been testing sheets. So we ordered from Standard Textiles, their luxury sheets. And then we ordered the Brooklinen sheets. I guess they're highest end ones. And on a cost difference, the Standard Textile ones were $90 for fitted sheet, a flat sheet, and then 2 pillowcases. And then Brooklinen, it was $120 for the same thing. And to be honest, the Standard Textiles, it didn't feel as nice as the Brooklinen ones. The Brooklinen one, both 100% cotton, both and objectively comfortable sheets, but the Brooklinen ones just felt luxurious, where the Standard Textiles ones felt good. So if you were me, what would you buy?
Good question. I'm typically not one a fan of brands in bedding. Most of it comes from just a handful of factories around India and China. Some stuff is made in Europe. We actually buy some linens that are made in Europe that are very high quality and feel great and are super light as well. And some you can actually find in the United States as well. I think what's really going to come up to it is like repeatability. Like, are you able to get the amount of sets you need in the sizes and things you're eating without, you know, buying a new set every time? So that way you're able to build your linen inventory. And then I would actually run those tests on like washing and drying and see which ones wash and dry at what speed, try some stain testing and things like that. Drying is really the big one with all cotton. It just takes a while to dry things if you don't have access to like a big industrial dryer.
Then the other question I have is like on mattress protection, because I know I was looking at Housekeeping and they had two options. One, it was like this one where they have like a zip off like top cover and like it seems like it makes it easy on the turnover. And the other is like a full mattress encasement. They like wrap the whole thing around. It seems like you got to take the whole thing off. So like, which one should I get?
They're both really great. You definitely want something that's a full mattress encasement. For my own properties, we use the zip tops because that's really what you need to change regularly, depending on what your like cycle is and how often you're getting used, or if there's ever a stain. And asking, you know, a housekeeper who may be working alone, typically, you know, a woman, to get an entire king bed encased mattress off and then replace it with a backup and then wash that somehow. A lot of times that's just like too big and the too plastic is too hard to wash it in a standard washing machine. So the zip tops are really great because one person can easily just zip it off, throw that in the washing machine, zip on the backup, and then you're good to go.
Awesome. All right, last question for you. I've got, as I said, 4 kings, 4 twins. How many sets of sheets do I actually need to buy to start off with?
I would start with 3 at the bare minimum.
For each bed?
For each bed.
Okay.
And then that gives you what we call it is like 1 on the bed, 1 in laundry, and 1 in backup. That's the 3 par system is what we call that. If you're sending laundry off-site at all, if your housekeeper is planning on taking stuff to a laundromat or something like that, then I would definitely recommend 4 or 5. It's a investment and you want to keep your par levels like up. So you want to have some sort of regular count. You want to make sure when things get like lost or damaged, there's some accountability for that. Whether you're seeking reimbursement from your guest or not, you still just want to know what that is because you don't want to get caught in your busiest weekend of the year where you're running 4 reservations in, 10 days. And next thing you know, there's no way to get a bed made. And then that's where people can start making shortcuts and, oh, does this need to be changed? So you don't want any of that going on. We found it's best to just really provide housekeepers with a surplus of things they need to get their job, hold them accountable to the inventory. And then that way you just don't have any of the stresses of being far from town. A host GPO order may not arrive there for, a week or 2. And that's if they're not out of stock of something as well. So definitely want to keep your inventory levels high.
All right, I lied. One more question.
Yeah, fire away.
So I'm starting to interview cleaners. And like, there's a good mix of cleaners that want to do laundry on site. And there's the other mix that want to do laundry off site. So if like all else equal, what should I prefer?
I really prefer laundry offsite. Laundry to me and cleaning are very different tasks. They seem like they go together, but they're different skill sets. They're different, paying attention to the time. If you are using cotton, you have to worry about wrinkles. If you leave a set of sheets in a washing machine that are 100% cotton, after the cycle's done for, let's say, even an hour, they're going to be extremely wrinkled, and just passing through a tumble dryer is not going to get those wrinkles out. You're going to have to look at some kind of ironing solution. So if you are using 100% cotton, the other issue is you want to make sure that whoever is doing the laundry understands that they should be setting a timer that gets stuff out of the washer and into the dryer as soon as the cycles are done. And same deal when stuff is done with the dryer, then pulling that out and folding it right away. It's the only really way you can do 100% cotton without having access to an ironer or commercial laundry. Therefore, I would recommend probably best bet is to take stuff to a laundromat. You can get stuff done faster. Your person that's responsible for doing your laundry can, basically sit with the machines. And in fact, when I ran 10 short-term rentals in Milwaukee and we did about 500, 600 pounds of laundry a week, that's exactly what we did. We just had one of our one of my co-founders actually just sit in a laundromat and just cycle stuff through all day, every Sunday or Monday while she did her homework for college. To me, that's the best way. You got to be careful because that's where stuff gets lost, right? You have a housekeeper or some third party that's taking stuff back and forth to a laundromat. They may get stuff confused with another house down the road that they're doing with. And next thing you know, you invested all these great cotton linens. They're now at some competitor's house and you've got their crappy, plastic linens from Costco or whatever they may be. So what you really want to do is just make sure you have a good system of holding people accountable, marking your linens, asking for inventory to be taken regularly, investing in good heavyweight canvas bags to transport stuff back and forth. And even if you're just doing laundry in the house and around the property, you still want to invest in those bags because invariably what happens is a housekeeper will come, sort of take the fitted sheet, pile all the stuff in it, and then just start dragging it around the property as she goes around picking, towels and linens into that. We haven't talked about towels yet, but you also want to make sure the towels and linens are being washed separately as well for the best results and longevity of them.
All right. Any tips on towels then, besides that?
Towels typically are usually 100% cotton. There are some options in the market now that have some polyester and things in them. They're really bad at shedding, microplastics and things. So also where you're in a septic system? Yep, on septic system. So you just want to keep as much like pollutants and stuff out of that as possible. It's another reason to go cotton. Bigger sizes feel more luxurious to guests. But where you're just going to have a lot of problems with staining and people coming back from the river or the creek and the beach and whatever. So you may want to invest in a set of towels that are really good for outdoor use or coming back from their creek or wherever people are going to lakes while they're enjoying your property. And then have some nice white towels that are just for the actual property. And you use some signage and rules and things to help guests understand, like, these are for messing up. And these are for staying clean. And on that sense too, when you think about housekeeping and cleaning, what you leave available for guests is really important. So if you give them one roll of paper towels and they're a family of 8 staying for 7 days and they're on day 6 and the kid spills a pitcher of Kool-Aid on the floor, if they don't have any cleaning supplies, those are towels. Your white towels are going to get used to pick up all that Kool-Aid and you're going to lose, maybe $100 in white towels because of that. So also think about keeping cleaning rags, sponges, even a mop or something that's available for guests to use. It's clearly marked and that will help them, when messes and mistakes do happen, they make the right moves and they're like, hey, you won't get charged for towels now if you just, use the cleaning supplies as they're intended. I found over the years that that's been one of the best ways we can reduce the incidence of damage to towels and sheets. We also ask for Washbnb customers, we ask to put signage on washing machines. Hey, you don't need to wash any of this stuff. If it does stain or whatever, just leave it on the side. Our teams will pick everything up and stain treat and do everything appropriately.
That's great. Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah, definitely.